The thing about controlling pen is the angle of the pen is going to control what the mark looks like. The more up and down that the pen is to the page, in other words, the more perpendicular it is, the stronger your line. The more you tilt the pen to the side, the lighter that line is going to get. And then the other thing is how hard you push down with the pen is going to control it. So if I hold the pen pretty up and down and make a heavy pressure, I'm going to get a lot heavier, thicker line than if I begin to lighten my pressure and twist my pen out to the side. And you can create quite a bit of a variety of values just by controlling how up and down and how hard you're pushing on a pen. It works for either, but I think the gel pen probably gives you a little bit more of a lighter line easier. I think getting the lighter areas is a little harder with the art markers. Can be done, but you really have to kind of get a feel for it. And you will notice that I scoop back. You know, where I want dark lines, I am holding the pen pretty close, and as I start to want less pressure and less lines, I scoop my hand back on the pen. So you're going to try just some of those same techniques that we were working on before. Hatching, and kind of approach it like you did shading, where the lines are kind of going in the same direction. And where you want it darker, you're just putting more lines in, closer together. And as you want it to get lighter, tilt your pen over more, lighten your touch. And then you can go back in and darken to create that gradient again, to control the darker the light. Now this is pen, and the pens will leave little drops where you don't want them sometimes, and you just have to accept that that's part of the media and work with it. Because you can't really take it out. So that's just straight hatching. Cross hatching starts the same way. So you're going to start with that one directional hatching process. But if you're going to cross hatch, you're going to go back in a little bit different direction to create some darker values. And the more transition that I want, the more different directions I want to pull those values to create, or pull those lines to create it. Takes a lot of work, a lot of practice. I think cross-hatching is often difficult to use on a smoother surface. Sometimes it's easier to get that smooth feel to something with lines that go one way, but I think the cross-hatching gives you a greater range in values than just the straight hatching all in the same direction. The third technique is known as stippling. I'll just switch pens just to show you what that might look like differently. And stippling is dots. And just going in and creating this gradient using nothing but dots. This is a really good technique for things that have a natural sort of texture to them, like animal noses. I don't know if you've ever looked really close at an animal's nose, but it's kind of grainy, almost sandpapery. And so this method works really well for creating values. It's a little harder. You really have to control how hard you push, how hard you press down the dots to control how large they are and how dark they are. I have seen kids do amazing things with stippling. Personally, I'm not the most patient person, and I struggle a little with stippling. I get kind of bored with it. But again, creating that dark to light. The last one that I'm going to show you is called Scumbling. And Scumbling is unique because it's messy lines. It's little scribbly marks. I'm still controlling as I want to get lighter, less pressure, tipping my pen further over. And then as I want to get darker, more pressure down, a little bit greater angle, a little bit more perpendicular to the paper. Scumbling can work particularly well for irregular surfaces, animals with really curly fur, animals or surfaces like a elephant hide, that kind of thing. The Scumbling can be very effective. And I've actually seen it used for some feet and skin tones that was pretty amazingly done. I use this one quite a bit, actually. So those are our 4 techniques.